Hello everyone, this is Instructor Ford for eced104, Health, Safety, and Nutrition for the Young Child. This is a video to help explain how to do your lesson plans for this course. The 3 lesson plans for this course will be compiled at the end of the session to create your portfolio project. So each time you do a lesson plan, you're doing a piece of the portfolio project. You see that in week 2, the topic will be safety for the lesson plan. Week 3's topic will be health, and week 5 will be nutrition. Let's go ahead and look at the first announcement from our class. This is the first announcement that I posted. I'm sure you recognize it if you've clicked into the class to see what it looks like. If you look to the left of your screen, you see the tab called Weeks. Weeks is the best way to enter all the assignments. Every week, you should click on Weeks, look at the correct week, and you'll see all the assignments that you need to do for that week. The instructions for each one will be there. The grading rubrics for each one will be there if there's a rubric provided. And the portal where you submit your work will also be there. So let's click on Weeks and see where that takes us. It takes you to a spot where you can scroll down and look at every week. Let's click on week 1. In week 1, you see that there's a discussion icebreaker. There's an introductory documents quiz. There's the portfolio project directions and rubric. This is what we're really going to look at for this video. And lastly, listed is the week 1 quiz. So there's 2 little quizzes in week 1. Let's look at the portfolio project directions and rubric. This is what we're focusing on for this video. You see that there are 4 documents here that you should click on and download so that you have them on your desktop. It will be easier for you to access them that way. The first one is one that we'll look at right away. I'm going to click on that. And I've downloaded it, and now I'm going to open it. Here we go. This is a document that you should definitely look at, but I just want to point out some very important parts. You'll see that in the directions to the assignment for the lesson plans and which are the portfolio, you will have some course outcomes here. There's some outcomes. There's the course outcomes, the program outcomes, and the institutional outcomes. These will all need to be addressed individually and specifically in week 7. You're going to reflect upon how doing the portfolio project, which is the 3 lesson plans, how doing that allowed you to meet the course outcomes, the program outcomes, and the institutional outcomes. So this is directly related to doing the portfolio projects, which is the 3 lesson plans. Let's scroll down, and you'll need to read this in detail, although I'm not going to go over it in detail right now, but you don't want to miss anything, so make sure you read it all. I've scrolled down to a section called Deliverable Descriptions. This is where the 3 lesson plans are laid out pretty much in detail. So the week 2 lesson plan is on safety, and it gives you detail on how to write it. The week 3 lesson plan is on health and hygiene practices, and again, this is laid out for you here in detail. And the last lesson plan we're going to do is in week 5, and that one is on nutrition, and those details are also laid out here. Notice that in week 7, that's when you will combine those 3 lesson plans together and submit them as one document. So you're going to cut and paste them together so that they come one after the other in one document. There's also going to be a cover page that you'll put on that portfolio project, and we're going to look at that in a second. So let's click off of this and look at the next document that you should download, which is the portfolio project cover page. Click on that, download it, and open it up. This is a template for you to use. You can write right into this document, and you can highlight the parts in italic print and put in your own answer, your name, for lesson plan 1, which is going to be on safety, what your specific topic is that you're looking at, and the age group that you've chosen. And I want you to notice that each lesson plan that you do will be on a different area of concentration, and it will also be on a different specific topic. And the age group will be different for each one that you do. And one more thing I want to say about the cover page, you won't need to use this at all until the very end. This is for week 7, when you've compiled the 3 lesson plans and you've attached this cover page completed on top of them as a cover sheet for all of them, but they'll all be in one document. Okay, enough about the cover page. Let's click off of that and let's look at the lesson plan template. I'd like to look at this last document first, and then we'll go ahead and look at the example. So let's look at the template. Click on that, download it, and open it up. This is a template, just like that cover page, in which you can write right into the template. So notice that for the top, where there's a title, a generic title right now in this template called lesson plan, you could always just put your cursor there and write in lesson plan week 2 on safety or something like that. So it is a live document in which you can write right into it, and that's what we want you to do. Anytime you see italicized type, this sentence is going to be giving you a direction, an instruction. You shouldn't leave these in your finished document. So I've highlighted this to give you an example that I could hit delete and take that out. And that's what you should do for your finished product. You're going to fill in the age group and the specific topic that you're talking about, that you're writing a lesson plan on. And all of these subtitles, age group, topic, location, wellness standard, and so on and so forth, don't take those subtitles out. Those are part of the structure of this template. I want you to notice that this next thing I'm going to talk about is the wellness standard. This part is very important. You will lose some points on this if you don't get it right or if you don't write in the correct thing. I will always give you a chance to revise mistakes made, so don't worry about that. But I will mark you wrong at first just to signify to you that this was done incorrectly, and then you could change it and fix your grade. So right now, back to the wellness standard. This is something that I want you to find the wording on about online. I want you to select a certain state, hopefully your own state, and pick out the wellness standard that you're looking for and Google it. Try to search for it in all different ways so you can find a standard of wellness that matches your topic for the lesson plan, that's worded in a way that you can take it and put it right into this section. So I know in a way that seems like it's plagiarizing because you're lifting from something you found online and putting it right here. But in this case, it's okay because you're saying what state it comes from. The wellness standard will identify itself as being something that's worded for people to use. So don't worry about that. And that's what I'm going to be looking for here. As we go down this template for the lesson plan, I want to point out that we'll talk about the objective and the evaluation and the materials and the procedure in the next document that we look at. So the biggest thing to take away from this document, this template, is that you're going to be using this for every single lesson plan you do. So you'll be using it 3 times. You're going to change it up so it fits each lesson plan that you're doing, and you're going to make sure you took out all this italicized type after you understood the instruction and put in the right answer. So again, for an example, I could take this out, I would delete that, and I would write in my answer there where I put my cursor by this dot. Okay, let's click off of that and let's look at the next document that you should download and keep. The next one here is, remember I skipped this one at first, it's the lesson plan example. So I'm going to click on that and it downloaded, and so I'll open it for us. There we go, sorry about that. So I want you to notice on this one that this is what your finished product should look like right before you turn it in. Notice that no italicized type is in here, except for maybe the title of the Bernstein Bears book. You can see what reason that's italicized. But all of those directions that you had in the template are gone. This is the way it should flow, the format. This is the way it should look like right before you turn it in. So please notice that all the subheadings were kept and the answers were filled in. I also want to point out that it would be best if you did not do your own lesson plan on safety on fire drills, simply because this example is giving you the information for this fire drill, and it might be kind of easy to use some of this info in yours because it seems kind of generic. But that wouldn't be the right thing to do. That would be plagiarizing. So it's best to stay away from this topic of fire safety drill. You could always do other things about fire and safety, maybe not the drill. And then think of all the, dozens of other topics on safety protocol or procedure or lessons that you could do on things that aren't about fire. So there's just a lot to choose from. I also want you to notice the wellness standard, what it sounds like, what it looks like, that it identifies the state. So this is what you're looking for when you look for the wellness standard that you'll use, the 3 different ones you'll use for the 3 different lesson plans you'll do. Then let's look at some of the details about objective. Objective means what you want to teach the children. So it should be crystal clear, meaning there's not a lot. This is not a giant paragraph. This is one sentence. It's concise, it's complete, and it doesn't focus on a whole bunch of different things or even 2 things. It focuses on one thing, and that's what I mean by concise. So it's very to the point and it's clear. That's how yours should look too. The evaluation means, what are you going to see that shows you that the children learned what you taught them or what you tried to teach them? So again, not a paragraph, a very concise, complete, clear sentence explaining what they're going to learn. And it shouldn't be they're going to learn these 5 different things. Remember that you want to make your sentence sound very concise and complete. Let's go on to materials. Notice that they made a list. I want you to also make your materials in a list. You can list them by number, 1, 2, 3, if you want. You don't have to do the bullet points. But this assignment is helping you understand how to make these bullet points. And if for some reason you don't know how to make this thing happen in Microsoft Word, email me and ask me, and I will let you know. You could also ask this in Ask Your Instructor. Moving down, procedure. I want you to notice that there's 10 procedures here, or 10 steps to the procedure for this example of a lesson plan. I'm going to expect that you're going to have, more than just 1 or 2 steps. That just, I don't think, would be enough. It wouldn't be detailed out. So I imagine that any good lesson plan will have, 10 steps or more, or maybe a teeny bit less. But definitely be generous, which means you'll be detailed, instead of being general, which means you won't be detailed. So I'm looking for detailed for procedure. All right, so we've gone over the example. Remember, you don't want to copy this in any way as far as information goes and topic goes, but you do want to copy how it looks, how it's formatted, the typeface that's used, the type size that's used, things like that, and copy the way that looks for your own lesson plan. Okay, we're done.